The item deck dream is alive and well, at least for one very delicious item, that is. If you've been playing Lorcana at all, online or in person, over the last couple weeks, then you know what this video is all about: Pawpsicles. They have been dominating the meta in the form of Ruby Sapphire Control decks, but are they actually the #1 deck? And with so many variation among Pawpsicle lists, which one is the best? Let's dive in and take a look. I think in some ways it's hard to deny Ruby Sapphire Control the title of the top deck in Rise of the Floodborn. That has to be true, at least in terms of buzz and excitement. Over the last few weeks, it's risen up as one of the top decks to beat, and we've seen it scrambling alongside other major decks, all fighting for that #1 spot in the meta. Honestly, it reminds me a bit of Ruby Amethyst Control in Chapter 1. Not just because it's a Ruby Control deck, but because it's the deck with the most early attention, meaning it's getting the most play testing both with it and against it. I see this as evidence of a healthy meta, strong decks establishing themselves and improving while new lists emerge to try to take them down. This spotlight of attention is a catalyst for development and polish, and the result is a strong control deck that I suspect will persevere throughout the next few months and show up big at competitive events. So I think it's about time I made a video showing off my favorite version of Pawpsicle Control. But before we jump into the core concepts and key cards of this Lorcana deck, let me take time to thank today's sponsor, Cards and Castles 2. This is a digital CCG that combines classic two-color deck construction with a battlefield where units played out can move, attack, and defend. With 7 unique factions and many cards to choose from, this game is full of interesting strategies from spellslinger type builds to unit swarm decks. There's a lot of wacky possibilities and depth to each card archetype, so I've really had a fun time thinking up and playing with different decks. After opening up a few packs and finding some great cards, I quickly put together this fun deck that swarms the board with small units and then powers them up one by one as you bounce them back to your hand. There's a fun new Undead faction to explore, as well as a new 40 card set update that just released this week. Cards and Castles 2 is actually free to play on Steam, iOS, and Android, so go check it out for yourself. I'll have a link below in the description. And of course, I gotta give out some goodies to you all, so I have a promo code as well for 5 free packs. Just use code Steadfast to pick them up. But honestly, consider checking out Cards and Castles 2 and giving them your support. I've had a lot of fun playing, and I really appreciate them sponsoring this video to help make content like this happen. But now let's get back to this Pawpsicle Control deck. In the first chapter of Lorcana, Ruby Sapphire had massive potential in theory, but it lacked sufficient card draw to get it off the ground. Now Rise of the Floodborn has introduced new cards, including Pawpsicle to Sapphire, and it's turned things around completely for the Ruby Sapphire combo. Pawpsicle is a 1-cost item that draws a card when it's played. You can also banish it to heal 2 damage, which is actually quite nice in many scenarios, but its primary use is that card draw as a turn 1 item. That seems decent and not too crazy. However, once combined with Hiram and Nick Wild, this Sapphire core generates unrivaled card draw. And I mean that. Sapphire can easily outpace the card advantage of Amethyst or Amber. When Hiram comes into play, he banishes an item, in this case your Pawpsicle, and draws 2 cards as a result. With 6 willpower and an ability like that, Hiram is very good. But he gets better because he can banish an item to draw 2 cards every time he quests as well. Just imagine if Rapunzel's heal to draw ability also activated each time she exerted to quest. In addition to that 1-2 punch of Pawpsicle and Hiram, on the next turn you'll have enough ink to play Nick Wild, who returns that Pawpsicle from the discard, and you can play it outright again, drawing another card. Hiram can then quest, again banishing Pawpsicle to draw 2 more cards. Suddenly, this engine of 3 cards has drawn you 6 more while establishing a decent board. Add in the fact that you can weave in some ink ramp on turn 2 and 3 within these combos, and you'll start to see just how strong this opener is. Let's go over those key ramp cards now. Fishbone Quill and Grandma Tala join in, enabling Sapphire to provide powerful ink ramp alongside that card draw. Fishbone Quill can feel clunky in some lists, but in this deck it's the perfect little puzzle piece that supports the goals of this deck. They help with ramp, of course, including inking uninkables, but they're also another item target for a questing Hiram once played. If he's already on board, Fishbone Quill becomes a 3 ink cost card that lets you ink 1 card plus draw 2 cards. Not bad. Additionally, as an item alongside Pawpsicle, Quill is another boost to Tamatoa, and we'll discuss him a bit later on. Grandma Tala helps with ramp as well, but she can also be a surprising quest threat, as opponents are usually hesitant to take her out. And in this deck, paired with Ruby, she also synergizes beautifully with Teeth and Ambitions, taking matters into her own hands to deal 2 damage while jumping straight into the Inkwell. Speaking of Ruby, it's about time we go over our second ink color. Ruby is likely the best receiver of all these Sapphire, Card Draw, and Inkwell ramp because of its natural firepower. With Ruby, as expected, an instant removal package emerges with Maui, Lady Tremaine, Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, and Be Prepared. These characters are here to remove threats while placing down your own, and even in the case of Be Prepared that might halt your own progress, this deck has no trouble replacing an empty board. Compared to your opponent, your bigger Inkwell and hand size can become an overwhelming force after an equalized board state. Now, to be fair, even without the rest of Ruby, Sapphire does provide strong removal as well with Hades and Let It Go, but Be Prepared really is the difference maker. It's the #1 reason to pair Ruby in with all the Sapphire goodness. With that extra spice from Ruby and Be Prepared, this deck can take out anything thrown at it, and that's what makes it so formidable. It's clear why this combo of core cards makes such a strong control deck. We have an incredible draw engine, natural ramp tools, and unrivaled removal. But with those core cards behind us, let's take a look at the entire list and walk through other strong inclusions for the deck. Noi is a great character that's a fantastic follow-up to a turn 1 Pawpsicle. She's often left out of versions of this list, but I find her early sticking power can lead to a healthy lore lead against slower decks, or help keep up the pace against aggro and discard decks. In addition to that early pressure, she can also sing Teeth and Ambitions, which is quite nice. And if Pawpsicle is out, she also survives the self-damage from that song, which is wonderful. I predict she'll continue to grow in popularity as players begin to test her out in their lists. More controversial though is my addition of Winnie the Pooh. Compared to running Detective Mickey, I was a bit skeptical at first. Mickey's ability is much better in pretty much every scenario. His ability is on play, so it's immediate and guaranteed. Mickey also in some ways acts like card draw because you ramp your Inkwell off the top of your deck instead of it costing a card from your hand. I think Detective Mickey is clearly better in almost every deck, especially in decks that reward his on-play aspect, like in Amethyst decks. So for all those reasons, Mickey does have the advantage over Winnie the Pooh, but in this Ruby control deck specifically, those weaknesses from Pooh are uniquely covered. You'll draw plenty of cards to make use of his ramp, and compared to other Sapphire decks, skipping 4 ink straight into 5, which is a consistent strength of Mickey, isn't quite as crucial here. The only 5-cost character in the deck is Maui, and at 5 ink, I'd rather play Nick plus Pawpsicle, and that only works if I played Hiram for 4 ink the turn prior, regardless of how ramped my Inkwell is. Pooh instead brings pressure to the table since he can potentially ink 1 or more cards if left unchecked. Beyond his quest for 2 lore, similar to Noi, his ability to ramp each turn puts a target on his back, which often pulls heat away from your draw engine, which is exactly what you want. And although I favor Pooh over Mickey in this particular deck, I do think Belle is a potential substitute and should be in the conversation as well. She also ramps an additional card from hand each turn and is a distracting target, even more so than Pooh. I've tested both, and for now I'm liking Pooh as he fills out my character curve a bit better as a 3-cost character. The 4-cost slots are a bit too crowded for Belle despite her strengths. Moving on now, Gaston Intellectual Powerhouse joins in as another lore threat that comes with a bonus. He scouts 3 cards from the top of your deck and draws 1 of them. This is so good for finding your pieces at the right time. As a 6-cost in a ramp deck, you can easily play him on turn 5. Perhaps you found the ramp combos but no card draw, and he can help dig out the Pawpsicle or Hiram. Or perhaps he'll find the Be Prepared you need to shut down the opponent's momentum on the following turn. In the meantime, Gaston's 3 lore is quite nice to have, and it's worth mentioning that the Ruby Gaston is a fantastic shift target for the smart Gaston. He's particularly good in a slower meta, where he can replace Teeth and Ambitions or Grandma Tala or something, but for now he's left on the bench, but worth considering alongside our Big Brain Gaston. Speaking of Big Brain, my list also includes 4 copies of Develop Your Brain. Again, this is to scout out and find the tools you need starting at turn 1. Now you're going to want to be playing Pawpsicles on turn 1 to be fair, but Develop Your Brain is here as a good backup plan or ink. Finally, let's talk about Tamatoa and this deck's item package. We've seen the necessity of Pawpsicle and Fishbone Quill and how they work with Hiram, Noi, and other cards, but Tamatoa is here for more item synergy. He can bring back items from the discard to extend combos, and of course he also becomes a quest threat when items are on board. And it's only natural to consider leaning more into the item aspect of this ink duo, but don't be tempted to make Tamatoa the star of the deck. He's often ink, and when he's played it's usually more for that item retrieval plus a removal bait rather than a surefire win condition. I still think 2 copies are fairly vital, but running more is tough when there's just so many cards that this deck wants to include. But with that all being said, I'll cover and walk through all the different item choices and their potential soon when I go over different considerations and tech options. For now, just know that I run a single Poison Apple to round out my full deck list. Now let's go ahead and take that time to look at some different options for this deck. I already covered Detective Mickey and Belle in the run-through, but another Sapphire ramp option is One Jump Ahead. This card can be very good in this list, sung by Grandma Tala or Noi, or simply played for 2 ink on turn 2 for an immediate Hiram on turn 3. That can be quite the powerful opening, and One Jump Ahead also simply contributes to a faster ramp into things like Hades or Be Prepared. The downside here in this particular meta is that I'd simply rather have some 2-cost characters as anti-aggro tools and a better inkable ratio in my list. But out of all of the options I'll cover in this section, One Jump Ahead is probably the strongest contender, and I've certainly enjoyed it during my playtesting. Another fantastic option that demands consideration is Judy Hopps. She's a fantastic 3-cost character with good stats that can banish an item to draw a card. She's a great backup to Hiram that can do his job of setting up the Nick Wilde Pawpsicle return, or she can be used as a tech against opponent items, especially spellbooks, flutes, lanterns, and maybe even opposing Ruby Sapphire items. She's another great choice for the deck that just doesn't quite make my current iteration of the list, but is worth testing out if you want to try this deck. Another option to consider is an anti-evasive package. If the meta shifts hard towards pesky evasives, consider Goofy or Dragonfire. For now though, they aren't necessary. This deck has a lot of tools to deal with evasives as is. For additional mid to late game characters, Cogsworth, Scar, and Aladdin are up for consideration. Cogsworth is a fantastic card, but he falls a bit short in this list. He loves supporting a healthy board that goes at least a little bit wide, and this deck just doesn't fulfill that requirement. Often you'll throw out characters like Tremaine and Hades one at a time to remove opposing characters. Those tactics plus Be Prepared means Cogsworth loses some value. As an inverse to that, Scar can be quite good into a wide board, and he has moments where he really shines, but in this deck he just isn't vital enough to include. Against Amber Steel, for example, he can be deadly, but I found that matchup to already be in favor of Ruby Sapphire, so Scar isn't necessary. Aladdin is another fun option. He even synergizes well with items, gladly taking that Pawpsicle heal or adding Shield of Virtue into the mix. But as with Cogsworth and Scar, he's not impactful enough to take up any of the valuable real estate of this deck. It's already filled to the brim with fantastic characters. Speaking of that Shield of Virtue though, I think we'll wrap up by discussing the items package in this deck. As mentioned before, this deck can certainly be pushed into a more item-heavy list, but I prefer to focus on a streamlined strategy of Sapphire ramp into Ruby removal, so my item package is more lean, leaving room for that core focus. That being said, there are certainly non-negotiables when it comes to items, such as the 4 copies of Pawpsicles, of course. I also run 4 Fishbone Quills, not quite as necessary to max out, but I'd still argue strongly for 4 each time. Finally, I run 1 single copy of Poison Apple. Only 1 is needed, as Tamatoa can always fish it out of the discard against matchups where you want to see it again. It of course can banish princesses, the main targets being Cindy, Ariel, or one of the Belles, but its ability to simply exert any non-ward character can be a game changer. The only reason to run more than 1 Poison Apple would maybe be if you decided to run Aladdin Outlaw or Scar, since it works so nicely with them. Now onto items I've left out of my list but are good choices. Many versions of this deck run these, and they should be considered, especially if you like the idea of something more item focused. Similar to Poison Apple is Sword of Truth. It's good against mirror matches as it can take out Dragon, Hades, Gaston, and Tremaine. It's also fantastic into pretty much every competitive Amethyst list if you're not afraid to pop it onto a lower cost character to prevent some bounces. Shield of Virtue is of course good with certain characters, and its ability is honestly always pretty good, especially when you're running Be Prepared and want to quest first before singing. But the main benefit of Shield in this deck is that it costs only 1 ink, making it a quick and easy draw 2 from Hiram. Dinner Bell is a fun choice as well. By design, it works good with big willpower characters that can hold some damage, but the truth is this deck simply doesn't need the extra help with card draw. Finally, Maurice's Workshop is another item. This one clearly gets better as you add more items to your list, but similar to Dinner Bell, this deck doesn't actually need more card draw. Our Pawpsicle Hiram package alone is insanely consistent and a powerful draw engine. Alright, I think that's just about everything. Honestly, there's really no end to the discussion around this deck and its options and potential, but let's jump into some games already so you can see the deck in action. I have 4 games for you today showing off a couple different matchups. Enjoy. Alright, let's see. Don't think I want Nick without Pawpsicle, obviously. I don't really want Noi without Pawpsicle either, though. Eh. All right. I think they're running the same deck. We'll have to see. Okay, so they're actually on red purple aggro. I actually think I ink this. Play this. Ink this. I don't think I'm gonna need this. They're not gonna run a princess. Feels pretty efficient. Next turn I can use Maui to take out Facilier. I assume they have the big one if they're running this one, so kind of interesting. Red-blue actually opens up some pretty fun interactions where Maui can sing Let It Go if he needs to against something that he otherwise can't take out or something that was just played. Interesting. Well, I was wanting to play that. I could see him playing like one character per turn over the next couple turns, in which case Tremaine's really good. Definitely don't have a Pawpsicle, so sorry, Nick. think I'll probably quest and not use the poo ability. So what I really want to top deck here is like a Hiram, destroy the quill, draw 2 cards, that sort of thing. Gaston would also be great to help me find Pawpsicles. You know, that kind of works actually. We'll see what I get. Okay, I'll take that. I'm actually gonna ink this. I was thinking of taking the develop your brain, inking that, and then I would have let it go in my hand, but I'd rather have this in my hand, I think. I feel like I should save this for a better target. Oh, okay, nice. You know what? Let's go here. Let Maui take himself out there. Now we got a 6 health Hiram with no Maui. I assume they've used 2 of them, but I think I play her first if there's a single target. Very interesting gameplay here. Yeah, very interesting gameplay. I think I have to ink this just because they're at 10 now. Gotta keep up. They didn't really need to ink that, did they? I'm gonna do it back. The single target removal is strong this game. Alright, that's pretty good. So yeah, they have a bit of a late game because of the Tremaines and the dragons and the Mauis and things. I was thinking they were like purely sort of a early game aggro deck, which does make me afraid that they definitely have Be Prepared, but I think I have to do this. Play it, why don't you? Mm-hmm. Yep. This is an instance where the Judy comes in handy, right? They got enough ink to do this a few times if they need to. But I'll take out Merlin once and for all. I'll quest, and then I'll hold this quill. Because what I want now is to draw maybe Tamatoa actually. Force out some removal. I'm guessing they have like a fox or something. Okay. Fair enough. So this is actually a good top deck. I think I actually want this. Yeah. That's pretty much what I want. Yep. Hey, I'll take it. Okay, so they don't have another Be Prepared or Dragon. They're gonna search for it here. If they ink that, then it's Dragon. Okay. That's actually really good. Let's see. Oh man, that's really good. Here we go, baby, the combos. I actually don't want this. I need to put on the mega pressure here. Yep, mega pressure, why not? All right. Unless they got like a multi-goat combo here, they're gonna have to answer. All right. Nice. All right, no cards in hand. Well, they have one now, but that's good for us. They didn't even have enough ink to spellbook there. They had to deal with us. So it might be beneficial to actually... Do I Be Prepared here? I mean, it would draw them a card. I mean, Maui's just gonna take out Hiram, right? I think I do this. Oh man, let's see, 12. I think I take out Maui. Quest. And then I think I put 2 lore on the board, right? Put 2 extra lore on the board, get a Pawpsicle. So I'm threatening lethal. And the next turn, if I need to, I can, for 5 ink, draw 2 more. I have answers. I have answers. It's just, you know, they're 8 away. I don't think they can do that in 1 turn, but with 14 ink, they can certainly do quite a bit. They can draw quite a bit. They can goat several times. All right, they surrendered. Oh, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to click out so fast, but yeah, that was a good game. I'm glad I got a chance to show off the control matchup. Okay. I like this start. I like to start a lot, actually. Save the ink, just in case. Okay. Nice. That's a good turn 3. Turn 2, Grandma. Turn 3, Grandma. Pawpsicle, turn 4 Hiram. Great curve. Looks like they're on aggro. So maybe I don't want to ink dragon, but I'm going to. Gotta do it. Can't deny this from being played. It's just too good. Ah, they're running my blue magic deck. Well, never mind. I don't run Aurora, but I can see it being pretty good. Man, I'm about to ink another dragon, aren't I? I guess I definitely should have drawn first before deciding. But I'm always bad at that. That's the difference between in-person, in print playing, and Pixelborn for me is Pixelborn just, I don't know, it gives me bad habits of you can click immediately without thinking. Alright, well, let's do this. I kind of want to use that, but that's okay. I don't need it. Nice. Okay, that's good. And then I think I'm actually gonna hit in here. Next turn I can take him out with Hiram. Take her out with Hiram. That is some fast ramp right there. I'm not missing Detective Mickey at all, actually. Very surprising. I love that card, but these grandmas, they put in work. So next turn, definitely Hiram into Aurora, Maui into Caterpillar, maybe. Honestly, I could quest Pawpsicle. Drop Be Prepared. I don't think it's quite necessary yet, though. Let's do this. Let's do this. And then I'll actually ink him. I kind of want Nick, because I don't think he's going to take out Hiram here. His deck's not suited for that. He's going to quest. So this Hiram can live and take out these other Pawpsicles. Meanwhile, Nick here not only gets me another Pawpsicle, but I really want his quest ability. Sorry, I just really want the 2 quests to sort of catch up here. But 12 with Arthur on board is pretty terrifying. I actually might be prepared here. Yep. Don't think I need 2 of these. I do probably need this though, so. know if, do I need to go to 9? I think I play Grandma. Go to 9 later. Because I can Teeth Inhibitions with Grandma for free. Sing it, delete her, and delete something. I think we go Nick. I think we go Pawpsicle. I think we go Noi. All right, 13. What could they do here? Bounce Merlin, play him out. It's +2 lore. I think we're safe. Oh, Rafiki. I haven't seen him in a while. Now, if they want to do this, I'm fine with it. Okay. That's interesting. I guess they're just getting lore on board. I think I go. I think I go boom. I think I go this. I think I do that. Put him out. Draw this for sure. Put this out. And then, yeah, I got lethal now. All right, perfect. So that Rafiki's got a hit in on the Noi. Right? I mean, what else could they do? They could bounce in a Fox. Actually, I think what they do is they kill Noi, then bounce with Fox in and kill one of these. I mean, keep in mind that they have 4 ink. Like, if they were at 9, I would be scared. But I think we got this one, simply because they're at 4 ink. Yeah, so, let's see, 16. I do have to take them out, though. So I can go boom. I think I go here. And I hold the dragon. I gotta hold the dragon for next turn. Because, I mean, they could have another Caterpillar, another Prince Charming. They might even have Elsa. I mean, I don't know how late they're planning on going, but... I could consider healing. In case, you know, they Rafiki something, but I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Nice. Well played. Oh. Alright, that's game. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Alright, let's see. Not bad. A double Gaston. That's a bit awkward. Because I have Noi and Hiram, I'm definitely Pawpsicle. Sometimes if I don't have either one of these, boop, boop, then I will play Developer Brain instead. Ooh, Minnie Mouse. Here comes Grandma. Alright, I gotta watch out for that big Aladdin. I think Pooh came out just a little too late. Oh, Nick is a great follow-up. Once you've played Pawpsicle and Hiram, Nick is one of the best turn 5s because you can get the Pawpsicle back and immediately play it. This deck basically is, in my opinion, the best deck in the format if the opponent doesn't ever mess with you. Like, there's the amount of value you get in the curve, both in the ink ramp and the card advantage, is just insane. Okay, so Nick comes out, grabs us the Pawpsicle, wink something, play Pawpsicle, draw a card, we quest, destroy it, draw 2 more cards. I mean, insane. Attack here. And then, funny enough, even if they shift Aladdin here, he's got 6 health. I think they're gonna, though. Right? Why else would you do that? Yeah. They had to 2 for 1 Hiram. It's pretty funny. So I have 2 options. I could I could Pawpsicle Hiram. But I think I'm gonna attack here and then Lady Tremaine the Aladdin away. It just seems it just seems so good. And then ink Winnie the Pooh, play Pawpsicle. Oh man, this deck is so fun. I've played this deck so much, and every time it's just so much fun. I mean, even in set 1, I love the idea of Ruby Sapphire. You just didn't have the card draw. And now with these 2 cards right here, you have like the best card draw engine in the game. Once again, just keep in mind I don't run Judy in my version of the deck, so we'll see if that comes back to haunt me, although I'll raise you your double spell book with a Gaston. Let's see. I think I do this actually. Yeah, why not? I could have taken Maui there, but now that they're up to 6, going into 7 ink, I think they're gonna stick to the spellbook plus be prepared type strategy. So Ooh, Teeth and Ambitions is kind of clutch here. I could play her, but I kind of want to Teeth and Ambitions, pay for it with ink, damage Gaston, and then hire him a Pawpsicle. I mean, he has 1 card. I'll have like 10 cards. Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. Oh yeah. I'm gonna even do that. Why not? Now I could heal if I wanted to because I have the other item, but he could just play another Maui and take out Gaston. So nice. Yeah, I mean that's one reason why the heal would have been good, but that's all right. I think I take this. Man. Insane. Now they're gonna start Be Prepared soon, but they actually need 9 ink if they want to be prepared plus double spellbook, and of course they just use some of it for Merlin here, so we're safe for another turn, which is fantastic. I think I go here while I can. He does draw a card off that, but I will also draw a card. So obviously this is a juicy Be Prepared, but I have Gaston in my hand, and I have Hiram plus an item in my hand and all this stuff, so do your worst. Are they done? Ooh, almost. If I had the item left, Queen of Hearts would have been donezo. Alright, I think we go here. 21 cards left. I don't want to draw myself out. That would be horrible. See, I'll do this. I don't want to draw anymore. All right, there it is. Nice. Another good control matchup. We got to see 2 today. All right, we got a pretty good curve here. We don't actually need double Fishbone, double Winnie the Pooh. But since I had them, I might actually keep Lady Tremaine. Right? No, I don't. No, I'd rather have Hiram or something. Maybe Grandma Tala. Yeah, I'll take Grandma Tala, I think. Actually, no, I don't need her. I have all these other options. So I'll do this, and I'll just start questing. Lots of blue cards. Meg, okay, so maybe green amethyst. Okay. Don't need both of these, that's for sure. This Flynn makes me think they're playing discard. So we'll see about that. Interesting. All right, I was about to say the ink, the Flynn. They must got another one. Oh my gosh. The average IQ of my hand here is insane. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. I think I need the board presence for sure. If I knew they were amber, I would not do this, but this actually might be a good move. I'm going to end up inking half of these Gastons, if not all of them. Oh, they are running amber. So maybe I don't want to do what I was doing. I do think I might kill that small one, though. I mean, I'd rather him shift in on top of the big one. Although I might just need to ink my whole hand. I mean, especially if he's going to start making me discard, but then again, if he is going to shift, I do not want to get rid of my hand. So that's a tough one. I think I go here, go here, go here. I think I just got to do this. And then next turn, I'd rather him play a 4-cost Rapunzel than, you know, shift in Flynn Rider. So that's what I'm committing to. Okay. So I can get this Gaston out before all their discard kicks in, but the problem is whatever card I find with him is gonna be Dunzo. So it might just be whatever I'd rather ink. Their deck that they're playing is basically like my number 3 deck of the set. So it's pretty good to practice this matchup. Okay, so I go here for sure. My my offensive Noi paid off pretty well, actually. I think I go here, actually. Play this out. I think I draw this, maybe. I think I draw this and then use the Pawpsicle. If that makes sense. use the Pawpsicle. That way they can't take out Pooh. And then the thing is, they're just gonna make me... They're just gonna make me discard this. I mean, I knew that, but... So I gotta ink this anyways. So I should have just taken Grandma. I think I just start questing now, right? Questing and top decking. The good news is red-blue is perhaps the absolute best deck in terms of top decking. The other good news is that I've managed to get up to 7 ink before all the discard kicks in. So then I can freely play stuff and not have to worry about inking every single thing that pops up. Fishbone Quill is so good for that. I mean, because if I am stuck in a scenario where I have to ink, I can ink any card, right? She quests for 2, right? Yeah. I think I take these guys out. So I draw from Donald, and then they can't take it away with Daisy now. Donald's probably going to take out Gaston. And then they're at 5 ink. You could play their Flynn Rider, or maybe if they run Belle or Cusco, this would be the turn. But I'm quite happy with that, because then I just trade back Donald's, play Tremaine. Now what I like to run into that deck is Lucifer, which would have been crazy good in that scenario. Although that's pretty good for them too. So is he going to take out Gaston is the question. Because, I mean, ideally they'd want to just leave this here. They're thinking about it. Yeah, I think they had to do that. Alright, the best card I can draw right now is what? Hiram? Actually, that's not bad. And I kind of want Grandma Tulla to do it, but I'll take it. Alright, I'm feeling better. But at any moment he can shift Flynn Rider in quest for 4. So the moment he gets around 15, 16 ink, it's just absolutely deadly territory. His best move is probably to keep Flynn Rider here, upright. Try to draw the big Flynn, and then hope I don't have removal for him. That's probably his best move. Like, questing here is probably not good unless he has another one in his hand. I say that, but he definitely could win this one. Depends on what I draw. Three ink. What is that? Okay. Oh, that's a really good card to draw. I mean, I would rather it be Hiram, but... And then I'm going to leave this one at 4 health, invite the attack in. I'd really want them to think that's an efficient trade there. Because what I could have done was summoned him, taken 2 damage, and then him gone to 3. But I really want to tempt that for them. Hope that makes sense. I just gotta survive like 1 or 2 more turns. I really think if they had held that Flynn Rider, it would feel a lot more dreadful here for me. Of course, I mean, to be fair, if this Maui had been a Dragon or Tremaine or a Hades or Let It Go, then, you know, then they're stuck at 11 here. So it just depends on what they have in their hand, really. Now Pete's also pretty scary. He could suddenly quest for 4. Oh, they did do the trade, but they actually did poo. I guess they're afraid of the race, as they probably should be. Oh, he's got ward. Oh boy. Man. I think I have to play him out, right? I have to play Maleficent. Even though he has ward. Oh wait, I can't. Oh my god, I don't have the ink. In that case, I think I have to ink it. Because what I don't want them to do is make me discard it and buff up Pete in the process. I thought I had 9 ink. I had 7. No. Yeah. Uh-oh. Another improvise? No. Say it ain't so. Oh man, hypnotize. Put Pete over the edge. Okay. Well, let's see what we get here. Oh. Dang. I'm 1 away from this. So what do I do? I think I go 18. Kill off Pete. I think I take Teeth and Ambitions and hold it, just in case they can't discard it and I need it next turn. So 3, 4. Okay, I'll do this. This Noi has been here since turn 2, man. Alright, so all they need is Fun Rider, and I have to hold this in my hand. But even then, he can quest for 3. Oh, this is such a close game. It's awesome. Okay. He did it. He got rid of that. It doesn't matter for Flynn Rider. He would have had it either way. So he clearly doesn't have... Does he not run the shift Flynn Rider, bro? It's been the whole game. What does he have? Okay, so you're gonna take out Noi. Oh my gosh, I'm survived still. I've survived. Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good all around, I'd say. Ooh, really good. Although I cannot play it. All right, well, let's see what they got. I don't think they can win with Meg. Unless they have like pack tactics or something. Oh man, they actually do run Lucifer. That's awesome. If they had it earlier, it would have been devastating. Yeah, that's right. Nick Wild's there, questing for 2. Do they have... They need like what? Mother Knows Best or something? Genie, yeah. Oh, that was such a good game though. If they had had a couple different cards, they would have totally taken that one. I mean, I assume they run the big Flint Rider and they just couldn't find it. They had 30 cards or so left. So yeah, very interesting. Very, very fun game. Very fun game. Okay, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in and sticking around this far. I'm sure I made a misplay or two in those games, but I hope they were a good representation of how the deck comes together as a fantastic control list. And honestly, I look forward to seeing how this deck evolves over the next few weeks and eventually into future Lorcana sets. Let me know what deck I should cover next down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time, peace.